Hello, this is Matthew Miller from the ZDNet Smartphones and Cell Phones blog and the Mobile Gadgeteer. I was sent the T-Mobile G1 Google Android device to evaluate for a couple weeks before the one that I actually pre-ordered arrived. So they sent me a brown one, which I believe they call bronze now, and we'll take a look at the device. Real quickly, I just wanted to show the device and a side by side with an Apple iPhone. As you can see, Android is a tad longer, but it is also narrower than the iPhone. You can see here on the end view, it's narrower and it is a bit thicker as well. Just kind of a comparison, because I know people will ask. We'll take a look at some other comparisons with the iPhone later. So this is the device in my hand. This is the bronze color one. Here we have the front. Let's just take a walk around the device. There is a T-Mobile logo with the speaker receiver there and this indicator light that shows up there. Nice display that we'll show in a few minutes. And below the display we have a menu button here. We've got a trackball, which is very functional. We've got send key, end key, home, and back. On the bottom here, you'll see the microphone hole, and under this cover is the HTC mini USB port that's used for syncing, charging, and your headset. The syncing and charging part I like, the headset not as much. Over here on the bottom left is the micro SD card slot, which you can't access unless you open up the device first, because there's a little latch right there that you use your fingernail and swing the door out. Over here on the left side, we see the name HTC along with the volume button, and I'll show you some cool functionality with the volume button that I'm very happy with. Up at the top, this is the actual latch that you'll use to pull off the back, and I'll show that in a second as well, since it took me a while sliding up and down to get it open. Over here on the bottom of the right is the camera button, and that's about it on that side. And then on the back you can see it says with Google. We have our mono speaker and our 3 megapixel camera. So back to the button. Let me just turn it off until we get ready for that. Back to the latch up here is the latch that you pull out, and you will slide off. That kind of snaps off the back cover. And there's the back cover and the back of it. And as you can see, it's got an HTC battery. I think it's a 1150 milliampere battery, SIM card slot, and there is no stylus and no external. That's about it from behind there. The card slot, as I showed, was on this over here. Okay, and then of course with the hardware we see the QWERTY keyboard. And as you can see, move in a little bit here, there's that magnifying glass is actually the Google search button. There's a menu button on the keyboard. There's it's 5 rows with a full number row. It's got a left and right shift key and a left and right alt key, which is nice. Pretty sizable space bar. It's just the keyboard is quite flat. Reminds me of quite a bit of my old Sony UX50 flat keyboard, but I'm able to type pretty well on it. This little hump right here kind of fits into your fingers, as you can see, like that. The problem is when you have a USB cable for charging or for headset poking straight out here, it's actually kind of hard to reach around it and type like that with your thumb. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the light here, and we'll look at the display. And as you can see, when you first turn it on, it says welcome to the T-Mobile G1, touch the Android to begin. So we'll touch the Android and see what happens. And here we go, it says setting up your G1, you will need a Google account. I already have a Google account, how to sign up. So it looks like you need a Google account to even use the device. So let's tap next. You either create one or you sign in. I have a couple of them, so I'll sign in. It says slide the keyboard open to continue, since you cannot enter text without using the keyboard. And there we go, sign in. So I will go ahead and sign in and then be right back. phone is now communicating and signing me in. As you can see here too, there's the backlit keyboard. It's actually pretty good in complete darkness. The orange letters are a little bit difficult to see. It's very difficult in low light conditions. It's pretty good in complete darkness, and as I slide the trackball, it'll show me the keys. It says sign in, slide back to continue. So we'll slide back, and the Google account is now linked to this phone. And we'll go ahead and tap on Finish Setup. And here it is. This is the default view of the G1, as you can see. And if I slide my finger left and right, there's actually 3 panels available for you to load up icons. And if I tap here, you'll see all the loaded applications. Tap back. Let's say I wanted to add something to this. I would simply go here, tap and hold on Gmail, and then place it wherever I like. If I wanted to move it, tap and hold. It gives me a little vibration. And I can move it wherever I'd like to. You can actually move this panel or the clock if you'd like. And if you also watch, if I tap the clock, I should bring it down here to the garbage can. It turns red, and it will remove it from the shortcut from the screen. Okay, so I could also press the menu button here, and you could add, tap add, and you go through here and you can add applications right from there. Shortcuts, as you can see, it's folders, bookmarks, contacts, Gmail label, and music playlist right to the home screen, one of the home panels. There's a clock widget, picture frame, and search. And then there's wallpaper. If I tap on wallpaper, we'll see that they give you several different types of wallpaper. You got some nice images in here. Just kind of scroll through some of these. They look pretty good. And you also have plain colors that you can load up, and then a couple of other even more colorful ones. You could also load up your own wallpaper as well. Let me go ahead and select one kind of like here, the house. And you can kind of see the image as I move to the left panel, and then the far left. The image you just see more of that image as you're scrolling around. And as you can see, it is quite fluid. Also, it'll virtually automatically switch from portrait to landscape. It's very fast. Tap this again and just run through some of these applications on the device. There's your alarm clock. Again, if you press menu, you can add an alarm, hide the clock. You say add an alarm, you can set the ringtone for that. We'll actually run through the different ringtones in a minute. Amazon MP3 store. Here you can browse your songs and buy songs. Actually plays 30 seconds of a song if you'd like as well. There's the calculator. It's a pretty basic calculator, doesn't do too much. My calendar. And as you can see, you can switch between agenda, day, week, today. We go to the day view. As you can see, it hasn't really I haven't gotten any yet, but it's still syncing my appointments actually. And there's the camera, contacts. Looks like it hasn't finished syncing all of my contacts in there yet. Here's the dialer. That's just to dial favorites. You can set up your favorites as well. The email application is to, if you tap on that, you'll see you can set up a POP or IMAP email. Let's see if the Gmail is synced up yet. Still waiting for my sync. Haven't done that yet. We'll go back there. Take a look at Google Maps. Again, this is connected through Edge currently. It was 3G in my office in Seattle. And let's just tap my location. See if it can determine it based on my cell signal. And there we go. It also has GPS integrated with it, but the GPS radio is not turned on, and there is no utility. You have to go into the settings to turn that on. As you can see, you can switch between satellite, traffic, and street view. And I'll try to do a video of street view later because it's pretty cool. Let's see, there's Android Market that I showed. Messaging is it the text messaging, which is also a threaded text messaging, which is a nice feature to have. I wish Nokia S60 would add that. Here's the music player here. Artist, albums, and I see if the music that I have on the SD card. Yes, and you also get some songs included as well. Let's see what we got. Just grab a song to play. And if you're to tap, I think if you tap on the band, gives some options for Amazon MP3, Google, or YouTube that you can search for. There's a picture viewer. This is all loaded by default. Voice dialer and a YouTube client as well. I am connected only via Edge, not Wi-Fi yet, so I'll have to go back and play some of those videos in a later video. There's a voice dialer for dialing, which is actually quite nice. Requires no training. You can actually say the number, or as you can see there, what you would like to do. There's a whole bunch of numbers that I came up with. Let's walk through some of these settings real quickly. There's wireless controls. As you can see, Wi-Fi settings, Bluetooth settings. Bluetooth currently only connects with a headset, not with anything else. Airplane mode. There's your call settings for, your traditional phone call settings, forwarding and caller ID and that kind of thing. Sound and display, ringer volumes, media volume, phone ringtone, brightness settings. There is no automatic brightness setting. It's all manual, and there is no setting for the keyboard backlight either. Data synchronization. You can choose what you want to sync. As you can see, it's getting my Gmail, calendar, contacts are currently syncing. Calendar is coming up next. You can toggle between those. GPS satellites managed here. The wireless network, SIM card lock, and some password information as well. You can actually do a pattern unlock, so then you have to perform a pattern on the device to set up. Try to go over that. Manage your applications. You can see here different ways to do that. One thing that's very nice on the G1 is if I tap Quick Launch, you can see you can set a application to launch from any key on the keyboard, including the numbers. And there's some loaded by default. If I was to tap on one to assign it, it would show me all of my applications. Unfortunately, you can't go to like the Bluetooth or GPS radio, which would be very cool. Use that as a quick launch key. Here's my secure digital card, internal space, what's available. I just did a factory reset, so there's 69 megs available for storage on the device itself. And when I loaded applications before, it seemed to always go onto the device. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to get it onto the storage card. Go ahead and switch to 24-hour format, which I like. And then about the phone gives you some information. If we go to status, status is kind of a geeky thing. Has your battery level, your data, IMEI, things like that. All that information, your uptime, gives you your model number, firmware, kernel version. And that's a quick look at the T-Mobile G1 and the default applications.